Welcome to step 5, where we're going to go out and fly our built drone. But before we do that, we're going to do some quick checks on our transmitter just to make sure that all the switches are doing what we want them to do. We'll do a pre-flight check outside before we actually go up and fly. But just for the moment, I want to explain these switches. So generally we start off with all our switches in the backward position being the default position, and the transmitter will give you a warning if any of these switches or knobs here are incorrect. So for example, that throttle, all right, if it's idle, it's in the default position, and if it's not down there, it's not in the default position. So it's going to give us a warning. This is our arm switch, and if that's currently disarmed, that's the default safe position, as I say. Okay, and if I put that up to armed, it should give us a couple of warnings. So let's switch on and find out.
Welcome to OpenTX, throttle warning.
So it's giving us a throttle warning saying it's not idle. We'll put that down.
Switch warning.
And it's also saying that that switch is incorrect because we need to put it back to disarmed. Okay, so that's armed
motors.
And that's disarmed.
Motors.
All right, this one here is angle.
Acro.
And Acro, so I've got Acro set as my default. Then we've got turtle mode, which is when your quad flips upside down, or you land upside down rather, and you want to flip it the right way, back up again. So that's that.
Middle rates, high rates, low rates.
So the rates are the speed at which your quad will roll and pitch. And yaw. So yeah, you do different things for different styles of flying. You got a buzzer. Obviously, if you land somewhere in like tall grass or some distance away and you can't see it, you're going to need a nice buzzer, a loud buzzer to flick that switch, and it'll beep 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 so that you can find it. And then lastly, you've got a return to home switch.
Return to home.
Okay, which is that GPS that we talked about. So it looks like all our switches are good and we're good to go outside and fly. Welcome to step 5, where we're outside on this beautiful day, and I'm excited to get this this quad up in the air. We're actually using the an Armatan Badger HD here. It's my normal freestyle quad that I use. Now, it's important to note that you're going to do some pre-flight safety checks first. All we're going to do is we're not flying FPV. We're just going to take it up, line of sight, try and hover, bring it down, take it up, hover, bring it down, and disarm the quad. That's all we're going to try and do really to begin with. Might move around a bit, in which case you can either try and adjust it with the sticks or just disarm, because you're really going to concentrate on the throttle control here. Okay, so do our safety checks, just environment safety checks. We're out here in the field. There's no one around, no people around us. We're on a nice grassy field. There is water, but as a beginner you don't want to have too much water around you. Make sure of that. Weather conditions are good, it's not too windy. So think about all those things, and then we're just going to plug in a battery and then turn our radio on and do some checks on our radio. So when you plug in, just make sure that you've got your throttle up, because it won't arm if the throttle is up. And we're going to turn the radio on.
Welcome to OpenTX, throttle warning.
So we've got that throttle warning. Okay, bring the throttle down. So we've got the switch in the right. Make sure you've got your switches all set to back to begin with, and then you can adjust. So I know, I've got
high rates, return to home.
So you've got all those. You've got the buzzer. Make sure you are in angle mode as well.
Acro, angle.
So we've got the quad facing away from us. We will just arm the quad.
Arm motors.
And throttle up ever so slightly. and bring her down
Disarm
and
motors.
disarm. Reset her facing away from you. As soon as you bring her down, disarm. All right, so again, arm.
Arm motors. Disarm motors.
And that's it. Probably bringing the throttle down a little bit too fast there. If you can slow it down a little bit, that'd be better, but it's not going to hurt anything. This is nice soft grass. You could land one of these from 6 to 10 feet and absolutely do no damage at all. So once more.
Arm motors. Disarm motors.
And that's it. That's all we're going to try and do. Just take off, hover, with making sure you've got that throttle control really, really slight on the throttle. Hover for a bit, as long as you can, as long as the quad is still facing away from you, and bring her down and land and disarm.